Hey guys, welcome back to Unstop Biology. So guys, in today's video, we are going to start off with a new chapter, which is chapter 15 of class 11th. And this chapter deals about the different type of plant growth and development factors. So basically, guys, till now we have understood the organization in a flowering plant, right? We understood how the structures like roots, stem, leaves, flowers, fruits, and seeds arise, and that too it happens in an orderly sequence. So now we are aware of terms like seed, seedlings, plantlet, and then a mature plant. Right? We have also seen how trees continue to grow in height or girth over a period of time. What are the different type of cells and tissues involved, right? So basically, guys, leaves, flowers, or fruits of the same tree not only have limited dimensions, but they also appear and fall periodically, right? So this process is a cyclic process which keeps on repeating itself. Like a flower is formed, a fruit is formed from that fruit ripens and then it falls off from the tree, and basically it has a seed which might give rise to a different plant, right? So there are certain processes of development and growth involved. Right. So basically, development is sum of two processes. One is growth and the other one is differentiation. Right. And we are going to discuss both in detail in this chapter and what are the factors involved in this, right? So basically, we can say that a mature plant is that it grows from a fertilized egg, which is a zygote, right? So we'll see the order. Basically, it is a highly ordered succession of events. We'll see why this occurs in this order. What is the criteria of growth? What are the criteria of development, and how exactly it happens, right? So in today's video, we are going to discuss all about the growth of the plant. What are the growth factors? Now, guys, we say that, when it comes to growth, it is regarded as one of the most fundamental characteristic of living being. Now, what is growth? It is an irreversible process, first of all. So, if you grow, you usually do not degrow, right? Until and unless there is an accident or something like that. In a natural condition, you never degrow. So basically, it is an irreversible permanent increase in size. That is why we say it is an irreversible. Growth is an irreversible, permanent increase in size. Okay, and this can happen in an organ system, part of an organ, or a complete individual cell, right? So this growth can happen at any level, and this growth is accompanied by metabolic processes as well. These metabolic processes can be anabolic or catabolic, right? And this occurs at the expense of energy. So basically, energy is used, right? For example, say expansion of a leaf is growth, right? Now, basically, guys, we'll see various properties of growth. The first property is that plant growth is indeterminate. What does it mean exactly? So, we say that in the case of plants, the growth is unique because plants retain the capacity for unlimited growth throughout their life. That is why we say plant plants grow throughout their life, right? So growth in plants is indeterminate. You cannot determine it, right? You cannot determine it. Now, basically, what happens is this ability is due to presence of meristems. right? So there are meristems present at certain locations in plant body. The cells of such meristem have the capacity to divide and self-perpetuate. Now the product basically soon so the cells which are forming, they lose the capacity to divide, and such cells, the cells which lose the capacity to divide, makes up the plant body. Now, this form of growth, wherein new cells are always being added to the plant body by the activity of the meristem, is known as open form of growth. This is known as open form of growth, right? And in previous chapter, we have also studied about what? We have studied about the root and shoot apical meristems. So here the diagram that you are able to see is what? The upper part is shoot and the lower part is root, right? And this is the meristem part, right? So the shoot meristem is known as shoot apical meristem. And the root meristem is known as root apical meristem. So you should remember this, that plants have shoot and root apical meristem, right? Inside you can see the vascular cambium in both root and shoot, right? So this is basically the location of root and shoot, apical meristem and vascular cambium, right? Now what happens is that this root and shoot apical meristem are responsible for primary growth of the plant. They contribute to elongation, right? They contribute to elongation as well of the plants, which happens along the axis, right? And in dicots and gymnosperms, the later meristems, which are vascular cambium and core cambium, they also appear very late in life. So basically, these are the meristems that cause an increase in the girth of the organ as well in which they are active, right? And this type of growth is known as secondary growth. Right? So the primary growth is basically the grow elongation of the plants along the axis, and then the girth also increases, which is the secondary growth, right? And that is why the first point remains valid, that plant growth generally is indeterminate. What is the second point? Now let's see that. So the second point is that growth is measurable, although it is indeterminate, but the growth is measurable. Let's see how. Now, growth, if we talk about at the cellular level, what happens, right? So basically, at the cellular level, increase in the amount of protoplasm is happening, right? We have a cell, right? We have a nucleus, we have a lot of organelles inside the cytoplasm, and this entire content inside the cell is known as protoplasm, right? So basically growth at the cellular level is what is, it is consequence of increase in the amount of protoplasm. Now since increase in protoplasm is difficult to measure directly, what happens is we measure some quantity which is more or less proportional to it, and that is why we say that growth is measured by a variety of parameters, some of which are, say, what those parameters can be. So it can be increase in fresh weight. There was a basic weight, right? And if there is an increase on a daily basis, basically that difference between the previous weight and the new weight is the increase in fresh weight. Then there is an increase in dry weight, right? Increase in length, area, volume, cell number. So there are so many factors, there are so many parameters on which you can measure the rate of growth, or you can you can just say that you can measure the growth of a plant. right? Now, say, let's take an example. So, in case of maize plant, one single maize, right? Remember, one single maize root apical meristem can give rise to more than 17,500 new cells per hour. So if you measure the growth of a maize and that too only root apical meristem, it gives rise to 17,500 new cells per hour. Similar way, watermelon. So this is in maize. And in maize also, root apical meristem. In watermelon. In watermelon, what happens? That the increase is about 3.5 lakh times. Cells of a watermelon may increase by even 3.5 lakh times, right? So if we talk about the maize plant, growth is expressed as increase in cell number. We are counting the cell number. In the later part, in watermelon, what we are doing is we basically express growth as increase in size of the cell. So both are valid when we say growth is measurable. Now, in similar way, if we talk about the pollen tube, so growth of a pollen tube is measured in terms of its length, length, right? And increase in surface area again, if say in a leaf, there is an increase in surface area. If this area is increased, we say leaf has grown, right? So there, depending upon different parts of the plant body basically, or different parameters that we spoke of, that we discussed about, we can measure growth. Growth is always measurable, right? So we discussed two factors, guys. First is that plant growth is indeterminate, and then we also discussed that plant growth is measurable. We'll discuss one more parameter, right? And then we'll end this video and we'll make a second part two of plant growth. So basically, what is the third parameter? Basically, what are the phases of growth? Let's discuss the phases of growth. When we talk about the phases of growth, basically it is divided into three different phases. Three phases. What are these three phases? The first one is meristematic, right? So meristematic growth, elongation phase is there, and then maturation phase is there, right? Now let us understand this by looking at the root tip. Let's think about the root tip. Now what is happening there is basically there will be different phases, right? So there will be a phase in the root tip where the cells are constantly dividing, right? Now both the root or the shoot apex they represent the meristematic phase of growth, right? The apex part where the cells are constantly dividing, right? So let just imagine this is the seed, this is the root part, right? So this tip will be apex and this will represent the meristematic phase. Here the cells will always keep on dividing. So basically here what is happening is these cells are rich in protoplasm, right? They are rich in protoplasm. Protoplasm is increasing. The content of protoplasm is increasing and they possess large conspicuous nuclei, right? So these are the properties of the cells of meristematic region. Now these the cell walls of these cell are primary in nature. It's very thin, it's cellulosic with a lot of plasmodesmatal connections. I hope you remember the plant cell, right? How the plant cell looks like. Now the cell just away from the tip. So say the cells of this region, right? So just above the tip, the cells which are known as proximal to the meristematic zone represents the phase of elongation. So this is the phase of elongation, right? So here what is happening is there is an increase in vacuoles, cell enlargement, and then new cell wall deposition is happening, right? So now the cell wall is thickening and there is an increase in the nutrients, reserve material. So vacuolation is happening. Cell size is increasing. Now, if we move away from the apex, so now if we move in this direction and we talk about, say, the cells of this region. So this basically is the elongation. And if we talk about this region is the phase of maturation. This is known as the phase of maturation. And the cells of this zone basically attain their maximal size in terms of wall thickening and protoplasmic modification. Okay. And that is why here what happens is cell division is completely stopped. Now, these cells are not going to divide, these are considered as the mature cells, right? And this is how the three phases of growth happens in the root tip. This is the root tip, right? Similar way you can understand shoot tip as well. So guys, I hope in this video you would have understood the basic three properties of plant growth. If you did understood the video, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do like it and share it with your friends. And if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to get all the notifications. And yes, guys, if you have any doubt in regards to this video, please drop your doubts in the comment of the video and I'll be answering that ASAP. Thanks for watching this video, guys. See you in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye bye.